guys, this is Jubalisa, and today I have a special collaboration with a guest. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tam, and my YouTube channel is Gray Matter, Beautiful by Design. And my channel is geared toward helping women think thoughtfully through their Christian walk and make wise decisions and understand their greatness, their person, their awesomeness, and who God wants them to be, that they're beautiful by design.
Wonderful, wonderful. So today our collaboration is about women, financial debt, and probably the men to avoid along the way.
Absolutely.
So there is a topic floating around on YouTube, and there's been some dialogue about avoiding women with debt, and debt could be accumulated from a male or a female, but a lot of women accumulate debt as a result of college, as a result of a number of things. So in today's world, women are accumulating a lot of debt, and we're going to talk about how that affects our relationships, our walks in life. Okay, so there is a topic that's been floating around, and some of the discussion has been to avoid women who have financial debt. But is that really what the statement is about? Is it really about avoiding educated women? So I'm going to ask my friend Tam some thoughts on that.
Yeah, the video that we ran across, the guy shall remain nameless. We will not give his channel any credence. But the title of his video was to avoid women who are in financial debt. But when you listen to it more closely, he's talking about educated women. And it wasn't really about the fact that so much that they were tied to student loan debt, but that they're just beneath him in so many ways. And they come with a mindset that is not conducive to his, in my opinion, chauvinistic ideals.
Right. So a number of women today, we go to college. We are doing things that include going to college, include running a home, preparing ourselves, those of us who wish to get married, for marriage. So in order to provide for yourself until that happens, a lot of us opt to go into college to work towards a career that will provide for us and do the things that we need to do until a mate is option.
And then there are a lot of times, even when you have your degree, nothing really changes about your life. It's just your mate comes along and enhances that, and you enhance his life. But apparently, a lot of people feel that a woman who is in financial debt can't have that life enhancement and can't offer it.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure why that is. Sometimes the structures in which some of us grow up in affect us to the point to where when it's time for us to settle down, then it becomes a challenge for us to understand the roles that God would have for us to be in the household, in the home.
So when you say roles, are you talking about the traditional husband-wife roles that we have seen over the years, and that we're kind of struggling to find our place in that because we have had to be out there doing our own thing?
Yes, in a large way, yes.
Okay, I can see that, because as someone who is a Generation Xer, I've kind of seen both sides of it, to where back in the day, women were at home. And the ones who weren't at home, they had a job, but they were still more domestic. They weren't really as educated as women are today. And so I know now that women your age and my age both, and even older, are going back to school, and as a result, they're accumulating student loan debt. Um, but I think the issue comes in more as student loan debt, yes, but other debt, no.
Yeah, like credit card debt, unnecessary car payments, uh, payday loan debt. You know, there's debt that is bad no matter how you look at it. And oftentimes student loan debt is not looked at as a serious debt. It's not a difficult debt. Like, I only had $34,000 in student loan debt, and a number of people have come up to me and said, "Jay, that's nothing. That's nothing. Like, I have 50,000, I have 60, I have 80, you know." And um, even in my amount of debt that I had, it was even still difficult for me to provide for myself, given the debt to income ratio that I had at the time before last year, when I was able to significantly boost my income and provide for myself to the point to where I was able to eliminate a lot of the debt in a short amount of time and get myself on the track towards financial freedom.
So I mean, clearly that's a smart thing, because when you do finally get into a relationship, that's not hanging over your head.
Right.
And then that's not taking money out of your kids, mouths, food out of their mouths, and money out of their college fund.
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's an awesome thing. And at the same time, I don't think taking that time to be educated, to help be more self-sufficient until you are married.
Yes.
Right? And then even if you do get married, you can contribute more to the household with that education. So, I mean, debt freedom is lovely.
Yes.
But if you got to accumulate that student loan to handle your business, then be smart about it. And then have the mindset pay off quickly. That's
Yes.
my thoughts. What are yours?
Definitely be smart about it. If you can avoid student loan debt at all, by all means avoid it. And if you find yourself in a position to where it's necessary for you to get them, then borrow an appropriate amount, choose an affordable school, and live in the most affordable situation.
Right. Because honestly speaking, you mentioned earlier about the upbringing we have when it comes to like money stuff.
Yes.
So my first and only lesson in handling credit was just go get what you want. They can't put you in jail if you can't pay. Is right. so honestly speaking, I was around 43, 44 when I started working on my credit. And because I never really understood the importance of it. There were times in my life when I had A1 credit, right, and could go get anything I want. And then there were times in my life when my credit dipped to like a 540. It's like people, you walk in the bank and they just laugh at you. You ain't got to say anything. They like, here, let's pop the champagne. This is a party, because this is a nut job just walked in here, and let's just, it was horrible. But I can tell you this: once I rebuilt my credit, and my husband and I went on our debt-free journey to pay off our car, the sense of, just for lack of a better word, power, empowerment that comes with it,
Yes.
was amazing. And so I am extremely happy to be connected with Jubilisa. So we can, help people say, hey, this is not really cool,
Right.
this whole debt thing. And then, of course, that guy, I think he has other issues.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about women in debt? Why are women in so much debt?
I think it's a number of reasons. It could come from divorce.
Okay.
A lot of women, they find themselves, they've been in a two-income household for a while. They end up divorced, and then debt and credit is the only way they can float themselves for a while. I think another thing is there's a need to compete. So in order to, even though your income may be a nice one, you know, I got a job. Let's say I have a PhD and I have a job, um, you know, as a HR manager of some sort. Um, and so my education level says that I make this much,
Mm-hmm.
right? But in honesty, my student loans say, no, you make half that.
Yeah.
So, in order to keep up my image, I have to use other debt to make it look like that I'm accomplished
Mm.
because I have this title now or this, you know. And I think another thing that's really not talked about why a lot of women are in debt is because of their mates. Yeah. Their mates are bad money managers or they start taking care of some dude and it takes debt to do it. I hate to say it, but that's what Gray Matter does. When y'all come to my channel, you'll see we get real over there.
Oh my.
So, what do you think about those reasons? You asked me. Those are the reasons I think. What do you think?
Yes, and I will also add like a number of women accumulate debt from yes having to go to college because they go to school because sometimes they see their moms or their grandmas working, you know, hard labor jobs that are very manual, very exhausting, and sometimes we think that going to college and getting the business degree, getting, you know, the degrees that are more business minded, or even healthcare. Like healthcare is a wide open field, and that's the field that I'm in. And so even I have been in healthcare, and I've gone into healthcare to provide better for myself, and that came at the expense of getting into debt. You know, a lot of us go to college, so we don't work the waitress jobs or the McDonald's jobs, but given the economy that a number of us graduated from, especially those who graduated in the early part of this decade, like I did, when we graduated into a recession and the jobs just weren't there, and it's taken some time to recover from that, and I think that those were some things that were not discussed in the video that both of us saw. Instead, it was like completely ignored, like it wasn't even brought up at all.
Well, I think the whole point of his video was really to woman bash. I don't think it really had anything to do with her finance because he talked less about that than he did about the character and personality of an educated woman, in his opinion. So we will scratch him off the board and we're just going to stick to what's true.
And I would go on and also say that an educated woman is not a woman that necessarily has to be avoided from a fact that, oh, she's educated and she has problems submitting, or she's not willing to be my puppet or whatnot. The actual part that was missed was that, well, if she is educated and she's willing to learn what is necessary to make the finances go in a way that's going to benefit the household, in a way that is going to benefit us in the long run, then in those cases, then you have a woman who is not only financially educated in bringing more stability to the household. You have a man who may or may not be the breadwinner, but also you're bringing to the table the ability to expand beyond the norms of being without.
Right. And you have to look at the statistics today too, because men are sort of, for lack of a better term, this is not about their character, but in the workforce they're sort of shrinking, right? And women are rising. So the tables are kind of flipping a little bit to where it may be necessary that she has that degree to help float the household during lean times. And so it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing if she has that. That's like a fail safe for the family.
Yes. What do you think about some of the comments that were made that we live in a culture where women are not cooperative?
I think that's true.
Elaborate.
I'll elaborate. I think we have decided what we're going to cooperate with, right? So it's not that we're strictly not cooperative. We're less cooperative with foolishness,
Okay.
right? So if we've come to the point to where there's not really any reason for us to go along with things that demean us or degrade us. We're in a culture now where we have more information, we have more access to things, so we don't really have to cooperate with being treated we don't really have to cooperate with being mistreated. So
Right.
if by not being cooperative he means that, then it's true. But as far as women who have an understanding of what they want from a man, and are open to his heart and his needs, then the cooperation is automatic.
So, what do you think about the statement that educated women don't want a successful man?
I think that's ludicrous. I think it's normal for people to want to match their stature, right? So, although an educated woman would be with a, let's say, cafeteria worker, it's highly likely that she's going to prefer, if she can have someone who matches her level, a professional person. And so it's a myth that she doesn't want someone as successful, because she's worked very hard to get to where she is. So she's going to recognize the sacrifice and hard work that another person has made to get to where they are, and is going to most likely be more attractive to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are a number of women that I have seen that have opted to choose someone that is not on their level. And when I say on their level, even if it's not educationally, but really on someone's level, is more of a mental statement than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Another statement that was thrown out there in the video that we both saw was that an educated woman would not be an educated choice for a man.
Gotcha. An educated woman would not be an educated choice for a man.
Yes.
I guess that would depend on his education level.
Yes.
But more specifically, his maturity level.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think that a man who is mature and who is fully aware of his masculinity, and who is secure in who he is, will not be intimidated by any woman, whomever she is. And I think when you hear people on both sides, men and women, start to degrade each other based on things like education levels and things like that, I think it's a reflection of some sort of hurt that they have deep down, and they brought some sort of bitterness to the table in making their selections, and in their speech and language and behavior towards certain persons. So I think he is less, he's probably less understanding of who he is as a man. You know, otherwise, what need would there be to even target educated women at all?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly didn't understand the point of that, because, I mean, a number of times, educated women, and let's be honest, like, education starts in the home. And so the home is the first time, your first interaction with education. How to clean a home, you know, how to take care of a home, how to beautify your home. You know, these are all things that we learn growing up as children, and then we go on and take what we learn inside the home into our school systems or whatever environment that we're in, and then that goes on with us to college or wherever else we choose to go after our primary education years.
Right. I don't know. I never wanted to be all that domesticated growing up, so I never took home ec in school. I wanted to be the educated woman, you know, and so I don't know. I think you just have to know who you are and just walk in that, and But I did notice when I was in college, just the fact that I mentioned that I was in college caused some sort of emotional vein to stir in the guys that I would meet. So it would either be positive for them or it would be negative, right? So I never met that guy who was pretty neutral about me being in university. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, you have guys who see it as a plus. They see it as a positive. She can contribute, and she's smart, and she's smart enough to go to college. You know what I mean? And then you have that guy who is averse to it. He sees it as something that's gonna give you independence, right? And he needs you to really depend on him and not have that level of success. And it may be something that he sees you as more ambitious than himself. So yeah, you get kind of both sides of it, really.
Was there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I mean, I think this is amazing. I love Jubilisa. I love your channel. I love what it's all about.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you all for watching. Please do go ahead and check out her channel, Gray Matter Beautiful by Design. I'm Jubilisa, and until next time, please do destroy debt. Don't let it destroy you. Bye.